Good morning, this is Childeric Marshowitz. I wanted to talk to you today about how we can start to reverse some of the damaging effects of dementia and Alzheimer's. I've been interested in this subject for, I don't know how many years now, but quite a lot. So my son, they believed, had type 1 diabetes. And so we took him in to get tested. It was an interesting story. So he was having some issues and he was urinating all the time in his diaper. And I was like, I really believe that he has a infection because he was in a dirty pool, actually. We still, though, needed to investigate. And come to find out I was right. Even though they ran him through a battery of cultures, there are all sorts of organisms that can't be detected by modern science. Neither here nor there. Luckily, he did not have type 1 diabetes, but I did start to research heavily what to do as a type 1 diabetic. And I came across some interesting research on dementia, that dementia was actually type 2 diabetes of the brain. So I'm going to give you a little background. Within the brain, there's two different systems that occur in the brain. The neurons as well as the glial cells. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but neither here nor there. The glial cells are the scaffolding as well as the blood-brain barrier. And what they do is they pre-process some of the decision-making and some of the intelligence that goes on behind brain activity. So what happens is that these cells run on what are called GLUT3. So that is an entirely different system than the body and the muscle cells and the fat cells. So those are called GLUT4. And what GLUT does is it's an organelle that basically sits on the cell, and it's a receptor. And what happens is insulin attaches to it. Attaches to the receptor and then opens up a tubule that sucks sugar in. So that's the GLUT4 system. It also occurs in GLUT3, which is a similar but not exact system. And so the problem that I noticed was that two things happen. The GLUT3 system in people that have dementia starts to fail faster than the GLUT4 system. So what will happen is a well-meaning physician will draw your blood and say, well, geez, Mr. Marshowitz, you're a borderline type 2 diabetic, let's say. But it's just on the border, you're on the danger level, or we might put you on metformin to bring that down a little bit. But in fact, the GLUT3 system in the brain is already starting to fail. So then what happens is the GLUT3 system, which is expressed in these glial cells, or glial cells, whatever they're called. I should look at the pronunciation. But neither here nor there, they start to fail. That means those cells are no longer being fed, and they start to starve. And when they starve, they start dying off. So what we get is a lack of short-term memory, because those cells process short-term memory. And we can see that where they start to forget where they put their keys and things like that, a conversation they might have had. And so as these cells start to die off, two things are happening. We're not getting the processing of short-term memory, but more importantly, we're getting holes in the blood-brain barrier, which means that all kinds of stuff is getting into the brain cells that shouldn't be there. So imagine if we had a filter, just like your furnace filter. If I started poking holes in it, we would get a lot of stuff into the air that we wouldn't want to get in there, right? Or a pool filter, right? Whatever kind of filter we want, but that's what the blood-brain barrier does. It's a filtering system for the brain. So when we're starving the brain, we're destroying these cells, which do have an ability to regenerate. But if we're not giving them the nutrients to actually be able to grow and to divide and repair, that process is going to be shut down, and we're getting more and more damage and more holes. So what happens over time is things start to get into the brain that shouldn't be there and start to kill off the neurons. That's where we start to see things like, they forget you were their child. They don't remember your name anymore. They don't remember who you were. They don't remember that they were your kid. So that's really advanced dementia. There's also another process that's going on top of it. So another aspect of science was to look into amyloids, which are basically trash that seem to accumulate in the brain. What they found, unfortunately, though, is that when they tried to clear the amyloids, they didn't see any benefit from that. The amyloids actually are doing damage as well, so you're kind of getting a double attack on the brain cells. And so what amyloids will do is start to destroy the neurons at a completely different vector or a different level. So I deal with a lot of people down here at the VFW, so they would understand attack vectors. So what we want to do when we want to start to reverse dementia, whether it be Alzheimer's or any aspect of dementia, they're all very interrelated. I'm going to show you some critical things that you must take in order to prevent this damage from accumulating and hopefully start to reverse that damage. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take a mixture of oils. Sorry, my writing's a reverse on video, but a mixture of oils. So the last video I did was olive oil, how to take olive oil properly. I want you to take coconut oil as well. So coconut oil is actually made of MCTs, large component of MCTs. What MCTs are, medium chain triglycerides. What that means is it's the only fat that doesn't have to be broken down to be utilized as energy. You would know this from ketones if you wanted to be on the ketone diet. Coconut oil contains nature's ketones. There are also synthetic ketones that you can purchase. But coconut oil, olive oil, and then fish oil. So fish oil is something you have to really think about. So you don't want to take 9 to 12 pills a day, I'm certain. So what I do is I buy the triple strength fish oil. So it's the fish oil that's been highly concentrated. So each capsule of this, or each soft gel, has 1,000 milligrams of the DHA and EPA component of fish oil, which is the good part. So I can take 3 of these a day and not have to take 9 to 12 like I would have to if I bought just the cheapy fish oil off the shelf. The next thing I want you to do is take bitter melon. So bitter melon extract is very inexpensive. You can get it at Amazon or at a health food store or anything like that. But bitter melon is a insulin sensitizer as well as insulin mimetic, which means it does 2 different things. It'll drive more nutrients into the cell. It'll also sensitize that cell to insulin so then it can open up that tubule. Bitter melon is extremely good for you, very inexpensive, and is something that anyone that I feel that has dementia, that's what I would be taking. That's what I would put myself on or put on a family member. The next would be ALA, alpha lipoic acid. So if you're not taking metformin or anything of that nature, ALA does a similar function. It's a great antioxidant. It also sensitizes the cells to insulin and hopefully will make that GLUT3 system much more sensitive. Then we're going to talk about the amyloids, right? So I believe just in my research that liver damage and liver malfunctioning, for lack of a better term, causes these amyloid proteins to be released and to accumulate in the brain. So having a healthy liver is extraordinarily important for reducing and reversing potentially dementia. So we'll just kind of call it dementia, right? And by the way, I don't sell any of this stuff, so I can give you links on Amazon if you'd like, but I don't sell any of these products. This has nothing to do with me other than just helping people. I don't. So don't think you're going to come to me and say, I'd love to buy the products from you. I don't make them. I don't sell them. I just am telling you that that's what I would take. Milk thistle is a great way to start to clean up the liver. It provides antioxidant protection. It actually helps mobilize liver fats in some capacity. And it also seems to reverse the production of these amyloids. Something called Tuduca, which I'll put a link in there. This is a bile acid that helps to clean the liver as well. It actually unplugs the bile ducts, or not the bile ducts, but the liver ducts. So it actually helps to facilitate processing of fats. I also believe that you're going to lose weight on this. I'm going to try it. Actually, I'm going to go get some as soon as we're done here. And I'm going to try a combination of milk thistle and Tuduca and bile acids for weight loss, because I think there's some compelling evidence to believe that it would be great for weight loss. And then the final thing that I'd like you to really consider is fasting. So not intermittent fasting. I'm not a big fan. Traditional, straight up biblical fasting, right? Where we're going to go 24 hours without eating. Or if you're going to eat, if you have to eat something, keep it very light. Celery, right? Pickles, things that have effectively no calories. If you're doing it for religious purposes, you wouldn't eat anything. But if you're doing it for health benefits, you would eat something with almost no calories in it. Another great way to get through that 24 hours, anyone can make it 24 hours. Come on now. Another great way to make it 24 hours is to drink bouillon. Bouillon, when you heat it up, salty, has some taste to it, helps fill you up, 0 calories, real easy way to get through a fast. Try to stay away from diet drinks if you can. It's not the best thing for you. But neither here nor there. Fasting for 24 hours. So how I want you to fast is this. I want you to wake up in the morning, spend your entire day not eating. So you've gotten that sleep, right? And you don't break the fast. That's what breakfast means, break fast. But we're not going to do that. We're going to spend the entire day not eating, find something else to do, and then you're going to sleep again, and then the next morning you can wake up and then you can eat again. What this does is this 30-some hour fast allows your body to go into a process called autophagy, which means that the body is going to eat up cells that aren't functioning properly. It's going to digest for energy its own cells that are not working. And so the body is really intelligent. So the first thing it's going to do is find those cells that aren't working that effectively, and it's going to use those first. And it's going to eat those up. That renewal process is extraordinarily beneficial for people that have dementia. So you don't have to worry. They're not going to, implode if they go 24 hours or 36 hours without eating. It's actually really, really good for you. Extends lifespan, reduces type 2 diabetes, has all sorts of benefits. You'll also have the great benefit of losing weight. I suggest you do it along with your dementia friend that you're trying to take care of. That's what I would do. I just wanted to also say that none of this is medical advice. It's just what I've learned, and I just want to help out because I like to help people with nutrition. Certainly check with your doctor prior to starting any diet and exercise program, blah, blah, blah. So, but it's true. So start, just check with your diet, your physician. Make sure that they know what they're doing, right? Just don't go to some person off the street. Hopefully they know what they're doing. And if you'd like to show them this video and pass it by them, I think that's fantastic. I encourage you to do that. But then, people, will say, well, I don't want to spend the money. The average stay for assisted living is anywhere from $3,000 to $9,000 a month, depending on how nice you want to put them up. And so I think that you could spend $30 or $40 on supplements, let's just say $100 on supplements a month to try to help out a family member with dementia. I'm facing that right now with my aunt. So it's important for us to really try to maximize their independence and quality of life. It's also easier on us, and it's quite a cost savings. So with these things, I would suggest this is what you do. You take your combination of oils, you take your bitter melon and ALA, you take your milk thistle and Tuduca, just take it, 3 times a day. The bitter melon and ALA you take with the meals. The milk thistle and the Tuduca I would take personally, I would take on an empty stomach with distilled water because that helps with absorption. And I think if you do that and combine it with fasting and hopefully a little bit of exercise, we can increase the quality of life and improve the quality of life for anyone that has dementia symptoms. So my name is Childerick Marshall. I want to thank you very much and have a blessed day.